Hey everyone, welcome to this visual explainer. Today, we're cracking open a real-life detective dossier, but instead of tracking down ordinary criminals, we are going after the microscopic invaders that live, thrive, and occasionally completely wreak havoc right on the surface of our skin. We're going to break down some pretty complex dermatology into clear, actionable intelligence that you can actually use. So, let's get into it. Here is our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll look at skin's enemies. Second, the three main fungus groups. Third, identifying symptoms. Fourth, diagnostic methods. And finally, treatment and prevention.
Section 1. Skin's enemies. Exploring the history of skin's microscopic enemies.
You know, human beings have actually been battling these specific microscopic enemies for over a century and a half. Scientific detectives were on this case incredibly early. Way back in 1846, Eichstätt first identified the culprit behind pityriasis versicolor. Then, in 1865, Bagel managed to isolate a specific hair fungus from a wig, of all things. And by 1890, Cercara had detailed palmar infections. Think about that for a second. These early pioneers were piecing together a massive microscopic puzzle without any of the high-tech lab equipment we rely on today.
Now, these invaders don't just strike out of nowhere. They are literally waiting for the perfect storm. A skin temperature right between 25 and 27 degrees Celsius, combined with a slightly acidic skin pH of 5.8 to 6.8, that is their absolute ideal breeding ground. If you think about hot human environments like a tropical climate, it provides the exact biological conditions these fungi need to completely thrive and multiply on the skin surface.
Section 2. Main fungi groups, profiling the three main suspects.
All right, so our three main culprits each have their preferred target zones. Pitiosporum orbicularis exclusively attacks the skin. It basically stays in its lane. But dermophytes and candida, they are highly opportunistic. They definitely do not stop at the skin. They have the biological tools to invade your nails, your hair, and in candida's case, even your mucosal tissues.
But here's the kicker. These fungi usually need a little help from us to really cross the threshold. Our daily habits and underlying conditions can essentially roll out the red carpet for them. Keeping your skin constantly wet, wearing tight, unbreathable clothing, poor hygiene, prolonged use of topical corticosteroids, or having diabetes. All of these things seriously compromise our skin's natural defenses. You are practically handing them the keys to the castle.
Section 3. Identifying symptoms. Investigating the fungal crime scenes.
When dermophytes take hold, the physical damage is quite frankly severe. In a trichophyton infection, the whole structure of the nail is completely compromised. It becomes thick, incredibly brittle, and noticeably discolored. The fungus is literally feeding on keratin. That's the protective protein that makes up the nail, and it just destroys it from the inside out.
Okay, a quick heads up, the resulting damage here can be visually intense, but it is medically fascinating. This is a carry-on to cells. When certain fungi invade the hair follicles on the scalp, the immune system triggers a massive, painful, pus-filled inflammatory response. The swollen area almost resembles a honeycomb. It's basically a violent, microscopic battleground happening right on top of the head.
Now, Candida has an impressive, if not terrifying, versatility. It can strike the mucosal tissue inside the mouth, forming these distinct, painful white plaques known as thrush. But it can just as easily attack the skin outside, specifically targeting those moist, webbed spaces between our fingers, causing severe red, intensely itchy patches.
Our final suspect operates a lot more stealthily. Pityrosporum causes a condition called pityriasis versicolor, locally known in Vietnam as lang ben. Instead of painful, angry inflammation, it leaves these stealthy brown, white, or pink patches across the back, chest, and neck. And the tricky part? These patches often become fiercely itchy the second you start sweating, and they actually mess with your skin's pigmentation when you go out in the sun.
Section 4. Diagnostic methods, medical forensics, and lab diagnostics.
So, how do doctors figure out who's who? When they take a tiny scraping of the skin and apply a 20% potassium hydroxide solution, the true microscopic structures are finally revealed. Dermophytes appear as long, branching tubes, medically called branching septate hyphyte. But Pitiosporum, it forms clusters of round spores mixed with short, curved filaments. Dermatologists affectionately refer to this distinct microscopic pattern as spaghetti and meatballs. Trust me, once you see it, you literally never forget it.
To get a definitive 100% positive identification, Candida might need to be grown out in a lab using a special nutrient base called a savarod culture. Pitiosporum, on the other hand, has a fabulous party trick. If a doctor shines an ultraviolet woods lamp over the affected skin in a dark room, the pitiosporum patches will actually fluoresce. They glow this bright, almost radioactive-looking yellow-green color. It's an instant positive ID.
Section 5. Treatment and Prevention. Defeating the enemy and fortifying the skin.
As always, the best offense against these invaders is a stellar defense. You have to deny the fungi their perfect storm. Keep your skin thoroughly dry, especially right after sweating. Wear loose, breathable clothing. Never, ever share personal items like towels or clothes. If an infection does start, treat it early before it spreads. And here's a great pro tip for those brutally hot, humid summer months. Simply applying talc boric powder to your skin folds can absorb all that excess moisture and stop these invaders in their tracks.
We've covered a ton of ground today, right from 19th century historical discoveries all the way down to microscopic spaghetti and meatballs. But I want to leave you with one final thought. Now that you know the specific, everyday habits that invite these microscopic invaders in, I really have to ask, is your skin truly safe yet? Take a moment to think about your daily routine, make those small adjustments, and keep your body's fortress secure. Thanks so much for learning with me today.